Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Raid Shadow Legends video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Minotaur and maybe a little bit more than you really need or want to know. But anyway, everything that's important about Minotaur coming right up. First of all, thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and for giving me this excellent promo link. So if you need a new Raid Shadow Legends account, use this link. It's going to give you the best start to the game. Down below in the description or the QR code, it gives you Deacon Armstrong at the start, then Uugo at 15, Tagoar at 20, Zargala at 30. That's a wonderful start for the game. But then Minotaur. So Minotaur is a dungeon in Raid Shadow Legends, and there are only two sources of mastery scrolls in Raid. Either you buy all the scrolls for a champion for 800 gems, and there's no discounts even if you have earned some scrolls already. It's 800 gems to get all of them, or you farm them from Minotaur. And Mastery Scrolls provide a major boost to the performance of your champions, especially the final Mastery that can only be unlocked for 6-star champions. That is a huge boost, for example, for DPS champions. And Minotaur is the more cost-effective way to get the scrolls once you can farm stage 15. So therefore you will spend a lot of time farming Minotaur. Because you're going to need a lot of mastery scrolls. It might not be immediately obvious from the game, but each champion requires 100 basic scrolls, then 600 advanced scrolls, and finally 950 divine scrolls. Luckily, at least, the scroll drops in Minotaur are smart. So if you have a champion that has already max scrolls in your Minotaur group, they will not receive any more and they can help others farm theirs. They will not take a spot. You can't roll like this champion will take the scrolls. They are just out of the loot pool entirely. Also, champions will first receive all of their basic scrolls, then they will receive all of their advanced scrolls, and finally they will receive all of their divine scrolls. So you get them in order that you need them. Although it's sometimes a little bit awkward with the very last basic or advanced scrolls because you can't get a mix, so if you only need a couple, then that couple is what you're going to get. So what do these scrolls cost? The vast majority of time is spent farming the divine scrolls. They come the slowest and you need them the most, and getting max scrolls from scratch to full on a single champion depending on the Minotaur stage that you're farming. If you're farming stage 11, it takes around 591 runs, which cost around 7090 energy. Stage 12, 408 runs, 5707 energy. You can see where this is going. Stage 13, 303 runs. Stage 14, 193 runs, 2689 energy. That would still cost you 827 gems at level 60 when you have the largest energy gap, so you're still paying more in gems to get that energy than you would be to just buy the scrolls outright. But then there's stage 15, 154 runs, 2150 energy. That's 662 gems at level 60, and if your energy gap is a little bit lower, so you won't get as much energy for gems, then at level 38 it's 796 gems. So starting from level 38, the pure gem price is already favoring Minotaur. And as you can see from above, farming only really makes sense once you can do stage 15. Luckily, Minotaur is the easiest dungeon, so stage 15 is a little bit more accessible in Minotaur than it is elsewhere. Also, by farming the scrolls in Minotaur, your characters will of course get XP, and you also get around 1,139,500 silver per champion that you farm the scrolls for. So that's around 560 silver per energy, by the way. So that is less than 20% of what you would get by farming silver in Spider. So don't think of Minotaur as a silver farm, but you do get a little bit of that at least on top. But what's the optimal team that you could bring to Minotaur? You can combine leveling and scroll acquisition for your 6-star champions. So then that's the most effective way. Your champion gains XP, you gain some silver, and you get the mastery scrolls. And the XP gained during the scroll farm, based on the number of champions carrying the others and the ones earning the scrolls, remember that 1 to 60 requires 2,010,669 XP. And if you have one carry that's carrying 4 earners, then each character is going to earn around 2.5 million XP. So as you can see, that's 500,000 XP extra. One carry with 3 earners, 2.3 million. One carry 2 earners, 2.1 million. One carry 1 earner, that's 1.5 million. So that's less XP. The earner will not reach level 60 if you start from 1. So then you will have to get those rest of the levels somewhere else. Whereas 2 carries, 3 earners, 1.9 million per character, and so on. So if you think about it that way, that okay, well, how much XP do I lose? Obviously the carry takes XP and that XP is lost, and then any excess XP is lost. So the most effective way, if you start from level 1, 6 stars, is to have 1 carry with 2 to 4 earners. All of those are actually exactly as effective. They lose the least XP per scroll champion, followed by 2 carries with 3 earners. If you have 1 champion carrying 1 earner, then that's actually considerably less effective when it comes to XP. However, if you really want to super optimize, then you could start 5 stars, level 40, 1 carry, 4 earners, Minotaur farming. Gets you to 60, doesn't waste much XP at all because the earners don't waste any, and that would be like the most effective possible way. But it can be hard to come by with 4 champions that are first 5-star champions, and then you want to upgrade them at the same time to 6 stars too. So that might be a little bit difficult to carry out. At least more difficult than just having 2 6-star champions and then you take them at the same time. But how do you actually beat Minotaur? Eventually you will just be able to overpower it with damage and self-healing. And before you get to that point, Minotaur is like the easiest boss, open to every trick in the book. What Minotaur does, Minotaur places the hex on your characters, they will take the extra damage, and then that would have to be removed maybe, because otherwise you might take too much damage, and that's about it for Minotaur. So you could have a DPS plus a healer. For example, here I have Tholin together with Tagoar, and then they're carrying another DPS. So basically just DPS with a healer, because the DPS is almost able to solo it, but not quite. So it still needs a healer to help it a little bit, and then that gets the job done as a duo. Or you could have DPS and some healing and someone who cleanses the hex. If you're a little bit weaker still, then cleansing the debuff means that you won't take as much damage, which means that the healer has an easier job. So for example here, Tuhanarak's Ascendancy passive cleanses debuffs every turn. So Tuhanarak cleansing, then there's some healing, then there's some damage, and even 3 champions would do this more here, of course, than 3, but 3 champions could do this like this, even if they were just a little bit weaker again. Or you could actually do also like turn meter control. You don't necessarily have to give Minotaur any turns. For example, here I have Allure, and I have Loki, but Allure alone could do it. Then Armiger, for example, could be a useful champion, just reducing Minotaur's turn meter so that Minotaur never gets to hit you, and then if it never gets to hit you, then it's kind of hard for the Minotaur to kill you. And yeah, farming scrolls for a poison champion with this strategy does not really allow those poisons to take either. I am fully aware of that. But anyway, that's like some ideas of how you can beat Minotaur before you get to the point where you just have 1 champion that's going to just blast through the waves and then blast through Minotaur itself. And that's Minotaur. Mastery Scrolls, major boost of power for your champions, so you really want to be farming your Minotaur. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.